All right, boys. So I'm going to be reacting. I got a couple videos here. I created a little playlist. Obviously, there's hundreds of videos about this already online, but it's the Carmelo Anthony case, okay? He stabbed Austin Metcalf, and it was at a track meet. And this story's crazy, like literally insane what it has become on the internet. It's become more of a race thing than it has been about murder. Like, and Austin Metcalf and what happened. It's just become a race war. Like, it is insane to me that it has gotten to this point. But I've been following it. I think a lot of people have been following it because it's all over the news and it's literally happening right now. Like, they're in court. So I'm gonna be playing a couple of videos here that I saved in this playlist. Murder on his mind, and I think he's guilty, like 100%. He should be in prison. There is no reason to have a knife at a track meet on school grounds. Like, what are we doing here, boys? And if you've heard anything about this case yet, basically, Carmelo Anthony went in to Austin Metcalf's team's tent, and at track meets, your tent is like it's for your team to chill, talk about whatever. Like, it's for specific teams, and you really shouldn't be going in other teams' tents. Like, it's just not a thing. And he went in there. It started raining, so he went in there, and yeah, they started arguing. And Austin wanted Karmelo out of the tent, which is reasonable, and because he wasn't supposed to be in there. Now, I've heard some different things on how it kind of transpired at first, like how it started. I've heard Austin, touched him, pushed him a little bit, but still, you can't respond with a knife and just stab someone because they touched you or pushed you. Like, that is not equal force at all. So I think this whole self-defense thing is going to get thrown out. I think Carmelo's going to be in prison for a long time, as he should be. And it has nothing to do with his race. And I think it's actually crazy for people to be saying that if it was the opposite, like a white kid murdered a black kid, that they wouldn't care or anything. Like that would definitely, it would be insane if that was the case. Okay, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, the race card would probably still be thrown out, and yeah, it would be way worse, in my opinion. Okay, so anyway, here we go.
All right, happening today, the murder trial of Carmelo Anthony will resume this morning after prosecutors
there he is.
were seen clashing outside.
He's the one who stabbed Austin Metcalf.
Kicked off. Watch this.
Okay, so this looks like the people who are defending Austin Metcalf and his family. He's the one who got stabbed. So that's who we're viewing right now. Now, I'm sure there's protesters on Carmelo Anthony's side, which, by the way, I want to mention there was a GoFundMe set up for Carmelo Anthony after this, and it has gained like what, $600,000+. Like, that is freaking crazy. What world are we living in? It's not about race. The kid, he stabbed someone, dude. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. If you freaking stab someone, you're going to go to prison.
Suspect is accused.
And you kill them. This is Austin Metcalf on the screen now.
Of stabbing and killing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf during a track
only 17, man.
Last year.
Chanley Painter here with the details. Jan.
Hey, Todd and Carly.
I can't imagine how his parents are dealing with this, especially with it exploding online like this.
Karmelo Anthony later this morning in Texas, after, as you said, tensions boiled over outside the courthouse yesterday with dueling crowds on both sides making their voices heard, some focusing on the all-white jury selected in the case.
You can see the difference in crowds, huh? I bet you can guess which crowd's for who. That man's poster looks like it has Charlie Kirk on there, Austin's bottom left, and I'm not sure who these two are. Is this the woman from the park video? Maybe. I'm not sure. If you know who it is, the top two pictures, comment below. Oh yeah, there's a whole thing about the jury selection here, but basically they couldn't put any people who were colored, any black folks, on the jury because basically every single one of them said that they couldn't convict him, or it would be very hard for them to kick someone of this or convict someone of the same race or same color as them. We can't put you on the jury if you're saying basically it would be hard for you to convict someone because of their skin color. Like, no, you can't. Like, what? Bro, this is crazy. I would never go to a protest in the U.S., at least right now. I have no idea what I would protest for. I just put my opinions out on the internet.
Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet in April of last year. Police say the confrontation started when Metcalf told Anthony he wasn't supposed to be in a team tent. Investigators say things quickly escalated, ending when Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest. The jury heard the emotional 911 calls and saw enhanced video from the track meet. Anthony
I wish we could see the video.
To murder. His defense told the jury that Metcalf struck first, and Anthony reacted in a split second of fear and chaos. Prosecutors told the jury in opening that the case has nothing to do with race or self-defense. They say Metcalf was unarmed, that Anthony provoked a fight with someone he didn't know, and then pulled out a knife and carried out what they described as a
Karmelo provoked him.
Metcalf's
he said, touch me and see and find out. Can't do that and then stab someone.
This is not a political thing.
Yeah.
This is a human being.
This is his father, Jeff Metcalf.
This person made a bad choice.
Terrible choice.
Both his family and my family forever.
Yeah.
And Anthony faces between 5 and 99 years in prison.
5 and 99 years. What?
This trial is expected to last at least 2 weeks, guys.
All right, Jaylee Painter, thank you. Let's bring in nationally recognized.
All right, well, we'll be covering it all the way, boys.
Kelly, based upon what you learned in court yesterday, I know you've been following this. We all got a sense of how prosecutors are going to attack defendants'
not evidence, but they're a way to persuade the jury about their position. Judge gave them 20 minutes each, and every single element for their position.
Chief, and they need to do it beyond a reasonable doubt, all the typical elements of a crime that you need to prove if you're the prosecution. But they also have another role, I would argue, equally as important, and it's keeping race out of this case, because that gets really complicated and it gets real sticky. The judge also has that obligation. How difficult?
Race-based. Now, if in fact the defendant is convicted, I could definitely see this race issue going up on appeal and potentially reverse any type of verdict.
That would be insane, dude. All right, Megan Kelly, Law and Crime.
Shocking and emotional.
Shout out Law and Crime, by the way. Law and Crime post constantly, dude, and it's because there's so many messed up people out there just committing crimes. But have you guys noticed? I'm gonna do a video on this as well, reaction video, but. Have you guys seen all the female teachers like getting in trouble for, doing things with their students? Like, it's wild. It's like every day now. And I'm not going to lie, some of the teachers,
Emotional testimony today in the Karmelo Anthony murder trial. We are one of the only media outlets in the courtroom for one of the biggest trials of the year. A teen track star, Karmelo Anthony, is charged with first-degree murder. He is accused
First degree.
of stabbing and killing fellow track athlete Austin Metcalf at a track meet. A haunting body cam video captured the chaotic aftermath of Austin Metcalf's final moments, but it was one statement Karmelo Anthony allegedly made to police after the stabbing that could become the most
sped it up a
powerful
little bit.
and potentially devastating evidence in this case. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Chris, let's go, boys. Let's go, Chris. Shout out, Chris.
Hey guys, real quick before we get into what happened in court today, I need to talk
Morgan
about
and
our
Morgan.
sponsor, Morgan and Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Morgan
For
and
more
Morgan,
than
dude,
35
they
years, have been
kill it.
fighting for the people and have recovered
They absolutely kill it.
$1 billion for their clients. Now the proof, it's in their track record. They have more than 1,000 lawyers.
They mentioned
600
Pennsylvania,
offices
which, by the way,
nationwide.
boys,
Hiring
I'm
Morgan and Morgan is
from
like hiring an
Pennsylvania,
army to go into battle for you. It's a
and
team that
yeah,
will fight hard to get their clients the
they
compensation
mentioned
deserve.
like clients in
Not all
Pennsylvania.
law firms are the same. If you hire the wrong
I might have to
person,
hit them
you may
up.
be beat before you even start. So if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan, and their fee is free. In fact, today we heard from the police officer
Here we
who
go.
arrested Karmelo Anthony, and he says that he heard the teen say, quote, "I'm not alleged, I did it."
Yeah,
When talking
he
about
admitted
what
to
he had
it,
just done to Austin
which
Metcalf. Now, these are
respect.
sketches from today inside the courtroom. Again, no cameras allowed, no audio recording allowed. So we have artist Pat Lopez putting these together for us. Now, the issue that jurors are deciding in this case is whether the stabbing was a murder. Today, a member of Austin Metcalf's
Dude,
track team told the
I
court
can't
that
believe
Karmelo
it's even
Anthony
a question.
provoked Austin Metcalf. And today was the first time that we heard from multiple teens who
I
witnessed
really
the
can't.
brutal stabbing. And today it was an emotional day in court. Court just let out Cody Thomas from Court TV, one of the few members of the media actually witnessing all of this. So truly our eyes and ears inside a courtroom where we can't record, can't use audio, can't use video.
I'm actually confused on the race thing here. What? Where does it even come in? Like, are people saying that Austin Metcalf didn't want Karmelo in his tent because he was black? Is that what the debate here is, or what's being brought up? Because Austin Metcalf, one of his teammates within the tent, and I'm pretty sure who Karmelo is claiming why he was in the tent is because he was trying to see him, which was his friend or his girlfriend's or his ex-girlfriend, someone in his family's friend or something, and he knew him. But it was Austin Metcalf's teammate, and he was black, he was colored, and they were boys. Like, he gave testimony actually and said that he was his brother. Austin Metcalf was his brother, and he was crying, dude. So the race thing there, if Austin Metcalf was racist, he wouldn't have a black friend. He wouldn't have black friends, dude. Doesn't make any sense, okay? It wasn't a race thing. It was a track meet thing. Like, get out of our tent, brother. Like, what are we doing, man? And it was young boys messing around. Apparently, they thought Karmelo was bluffing. Like, obviously, I think most people would. You're at a track meet together with a bunch of schools. You're on school grounds. Like, you're not going to think someone's going to pull out a knife or a gun on you there. Like, what the heck? Honestly, I think in most situations you would think someone is bluffing, because most people haven't been in a situation where they've had a gun pulled them on, or a knife pulled on them. I have, unfortunately. I'm not saying it was cool or anything, and I'm proud of it, but I have, past drug.
Cody, thanks for being here once again. There's a lot I want to get to, but let's start with the body camera video that was shown in court today. What did you see?
Yeah, Chris. So they came out of the
My
gate with
neck
that.
is
There were
killing
two
me.
different officers that testified. So we had two different angles of the body cam. But the first officer is actually the officer that made the arrest. He was an SRO. He's in his office and he gets the call there's been a stabbing at the stadium. So he's running out there seeing what's going on. Of course, he's seeing the frenzy of students running in every which way. And then he's asking, where's the action at? Where am I going here? And he sees the north side of the stadium. So he gets over there and everyone's telling him, it's that kid, because these kids at Memorial High School did not have any idea who Karmelo Anthony was. But, he's in the gray hoodie, he's in the dark blue or the black sweatpants, and they're pointing him out because one of the kids that testified, and we'll get to them, was following him while on 911. So they obviously saw this kid, and he wasn't
I forgot I sped it up. I was like, holy crap, dude, this guy's talking fast as fuck.
running outside the stadium. So anyway, the officer ends up approaching him, and the body cam comes on during the apprehension. So
What did the shirt say? We declare something free.
wasn't on during.
What?
most of it.
We declare, we decree he is free.
When it comes on, we start seeing it there. And the thing about it, Karmelo
Yeah.
actually, Chris, was cooperating. He was compliant. He was following orders. He was, respectful. What's your name? He was spelling his name out.
I'm gonna say something here. Okay. When it comes to people of color, they're pretty good at making shirts. Okay. When one of their friends dies or something like that, they get a shirt made quickly, and they're usually pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. They're good at making clothing, good at making shirts. So, just wanted to put that out there.
Without the officer even prompting him. And he goes over and he sits him down, and then the officer cuffs him just to detain him, before they even, take him off campus in the squad car down to the jail, any of that. But one of the most important things about one of these body cams, Chris, is the audio, because you hear they're walking along and the officer's kind of just doing some back and forth with them. And then you hear Karmelo say, he put his hands on me. I told him not to. And that's the part that the prosecution's harping on, the I told him not to part, because they're pretty much saying that part's a lie. Every account that we've heard so far in the reporting over the last year, and some of the students today, was just the whole touch me and see what
Just to be aware, this video is from 2 days ago.
happens. It wasn't don't touch me. It wasn't, if you keep your hands off me, we're
How
cool.
does he get
It
his
was,
hair
touch me,
like
see what
that?
happens, making it sound more on the offensive. But when he
My
said
hair
that
is
statement,
crazy,
Chris,
dude.
the whole I told him not to put his hands on me and all that, he was sobbing. The emotion was you heard it. You didn't see his face, but you heard it instantaneously.
Of course.
And so then a few minutes goes by, and then he seemed a little bit calmer. Like you were just, high energy here, the high, sad energy, and then now you're calm and just, yeah, my name's Karmelo Anthony, and I'm a senior or what have you. But anyway, that was the important
Interesting.
part of that emotional. And I'm sitting 2 rows behind the Metcalf family every single day. I could reach out and touch his father. That's how close he is to me. And for the majority of the
Now,
time,
they're
he's
not
sitting in his
allowing
hands,
video
just
cameras or any of
shaking all that.
the
I mean, he's been dealing with this for a
actual
year, but when you
case to be
see,
recorded in court,
your son laying
which
there lifeless, you hear 911 calls. You're
I get
seeing
it.
all the love and support that he was getting, from the friends and the coaches.
Probably
So,
wouldn't be
but,
a good
he
idea.
he was supported, but to what avail, because he's not here anymore.
Who's drawing these, by the way?
Just think, because I know yesterday we were talking about
Oh, Pat Lopez. Shout out Pat Lopez.
Then you have to actually see the chaos that was taking place.
There's a GoFundMe set up for both of them, right? Yeah.
That's interesting, Chris, because I was, I'm right here in the Metcalf camp, but I try to, keep my head on a swivel, not only to the jury, but
By the
on
way,
that
my
side.
name is Colin. This is happening in Collin County. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know there was Collin County, so.
Of the courtroom as well. And it's just very stoic. It's just very,
stoic.
I don't know if the word emotionless is correct, because I'm sure they're feeling a lot of things, but maybe emotionless not in a negative sense, but it just very, stale-faced. I imagine, Karmelo's sitting there, he's just looking.
Probably in shock.
He's not moving around. He's not looking around the courtroom. He's not rocking his chair. He's just looking right at it, because I'm sure he's reliving, his version of what went down that day.
He's probably terrified.
Regretting the biggest mistake of his life. And
I couldn't imagine.
they're just, just taking that in, and I have to think about it from that point of view as well.
They're kids.
Could you imagine
facing life in prison?
This kid that you've seen grow up, and now he's being accused of these, the maximum crimes you could be accused of.
Yeah.
Killing someone. So they're over there just a little more
absolute
stable,
shock.
not in a negative sense, but just just real cemented in hearing what's going on. But of course, there's visceral, audible takeaway from the knife, Chris, is that it has a 3.5-inch blade. It looked like a heavy duty knife. It's not
3.5 inches. Three and a half. Can you see that? Ah. Okay. That's about 3.5 right there. Okay.
not what I expected it to look like. I'm sure you have too, plenty of different styles of pocket knives, but this one just looks like just one of the ones that won't break when you try to cut something. Like the blade is. And they did the demonstration, and you see one of the officers walk up, because he was kind of in charge of scene of, there's a lot of translation between football and track athletes, so they're all kind of one big family.
Oh,
so
wait.
he stood up and really allow it. If the coaches saw somebody from the opposing team, like Karmelo was from Centennial High School, sitting under the Memorial High School tent, that just would not have been allowed. So all of them say, who was this kid? One described him as a random kid who just came down from the top of the bleachers, sat down. Questions started circulating, like, who are you? What's your name? What are you doing?
This is about the tent. Like, at the track meets, really the tent is for the teams. It's like your bench at like a football game or a baseball game, right? Like, you can't go on the other other team's bench. Holy, what is going on with my mouth? You can't go on the other team's side. You just can't do that. It's common sense.
Here, And that's eventually when they say, Austin Metcalf stood up because he was looked at as a leader of the team, looked at as a team captain. He was the captain on the football team as a linebacker, and a lot of, there's a lot of translation between football and track athletes. So they're all kind of one big family.
Yeah,
And so
true.
he stood
That
up,
is
and
true.
all of them said that Austin started off calmly. Hey man, what's going on? You should.
Didn't he ask him to leave like 10 times or something? That there alone is pretty bad for Karmelo, because you get asked that many times and you don't leave, and then it turns into this. I don't know.
Shouldn't really be here. Just get off from under the tent. Not in any aggressive way. Everything was calm. And they said Carmelo was just like not responding, just saying no, or if you want me to move, you're gonna have to make me move. Just, being real adamant about not leaving the tent. And so eventually
Why didn't he just leave the tent, man?
they said Austin started getting a little frustrated. People, other people
Couldn't find another tent.
Others were chiming in. Some of the people on the witness stand, some of the
I mean,
students
kids are
testified
kids.
that they were
Get
chiming
it.
in
You have an
on
ego
people
when
saying,
you're a
like,
kid.
and others said
Everybody does.
cussing was going on. They asked specifically, was there
Especially
any profanity,
boys.
any cussing? They're like, not that I remember. So maybe it wasn't a nasty altercation, but just a frustrating one. 14, 15, 16, and you're not thinking about somebody having
Taller than Austin Metcalf. I think Austin Metcalf was like 6'1", 6'2", 215.
That's pretty big. Okay. I've weighed the same weight since like 7th grade, for real. Yeah. Nothing near that. Like 145 to 155, we'll say I fluctuate. All right, I want to jump around here to some other videos. Okay. Oh, we saw this one. This is from Court TV. All right, I think we saw enough. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I don't think he's gonna get off. Like, I think for sure Karmelo is gonna go to prison for a long time, very long time. It's yeah, that's. I just don't think it's even possible for him not to. And I think if he were to get off, I don't know. I think it would cause a lot of problems, unwanted problems from community, and yeah, there's no way.